Reasons governmental corruption is possible in today's world. 1. Power. Without accountability. When decision makers face low risk of punishment, corruption becomes statistically favorable. If probability of being caught, severity of punishment, personal gain, corruption is rational. Weak courts, controlled media, or lack of transparency reduce that risk. Over time, this creates a feedback loop. Corrupt actors weaken oversight further. 2. Concentration of power. The more centralized authority is, the fewer checkpoints exist. In highly centralized systems, a small group controls large resources. Fewer decision nodes, fewer chances for exposure. This aligns with basic network theory. Less distributed systems are easier to control and exploit. 3. Economic incentives and scarcity. Low pay plus high control over resources, high corruption probability. If officials are underpaid but control valuable assets, corruption becomes a compensation mechanism. In unstable economies, short-term survival often outweighs long-term integrity. This is seen across history, regardless of ideology. 4. Normalization, cultural drift. Corruption spreads like a behavioral contagion. If most actors in a system are corrupt, the cost of staying honest increases. Honest individuals get outcompeted, removed, or pressured to conform. Eventually, corruption becomes the default operating procedure, not the exception. 5. Information asymmetry. The public doesn't see what leaders actually do. Governments control or influence information flow. When citizens lack visibility, they can't respond effectively. This ties directly to principal-agent problems in economics. Agents act in their own interest when principals can't monitor them. 6. Short-term survival over long-term stability. Leaders often prioritize staying in power over governing well. Corruption can fund loyalty. This creates a system where corruption is not a bug. It's a tool for regime stability. Game theory. Defecting dominates cooperating if others are defecting. 7. Weak institutions. Strong institutions constrain behavior. Weak ones enable exploitation. Independent courts, audits, elections. These are friction against corruption. If those are compromised, nothing stops misuse of power. Once weakened, rebuilding them is extremely difficult. 8. Elite capture. Power structures get hijacked by small groups. Corporations, oligarchs, or political insiders influence policy for their own gain. Laws get shaped to protect corruption rather than prevent it. This isn't always illegal. It often operates in legal gray zones. Lobbying, regulatory capture. 9. Public disunity. Fragmented populations can't effectively push back. If citizens are divided, collective action fails. This lowers the risk of uprising or reform. From a probability standpoint, coordinated resistance becomes exponentially harder as division increases. 10. Gradual escalation. Corruption rarely starts large, it compounds. Small unethical actions normalize bigger ones. Each step reduces psychological resistance. Over time, what would have once been unacceptable becomes routine. Bottom line, corruption persists when this inequality holds. Expected benefit of corruption. Expected cost of being caught. Moral, social cost. If the system consistently satisfies that condition, corruption isn't an anomaly. It's the expected outcome.